The starting point of my research paper was investigating persuasive narratives, particularly 1970s public information films. I was trying to make an argument that public information films of the 1970s were more effective in the art of persuasion compared to contemporary ones. From research, evidence shows that creative fear-inducing stimulus of the 1970s was achieved using simplistic and what is considered comical techniques today, such as cutout animations, humorous narrations and ghoulish figures menacingly watching over us. My intention at that time was to make something public information film-esque, targeting a younger audience which would raise awareness to the dangers of the internet. So I began experimenting in DIY mode, here using a rat trap, and another one was with one of my son's video games. Did my research make a big impact on my practice? Yes, in a big way. Most of all was being fortunate in obtaining brief interviews with the director of Lonely Water, Jeff Grant, and Tony Dykes from the British Film Institute. I was very encouraged by their comments on my paper, especially as they both advocated that simple approaches in public information filmmaking are the most effective. The research journey was also fueled and inspired by other artists that had either used and repurposed public information films or have explored internet-related issues for their practice. Notable projects from Ashley Nankivell's Helping Johnny Remember, where she eerily transforms a vintage public service announcement, and Evan Baden's visually arresting photographic series titled Technically Intimate. Baden's series of photographs explores adolescent sexting. Researching material on the disruptive side of technology got me thinking about doing something on concentration and how social media affects our engagement. Books such as The Shallows, The Internet is Not the Answer, and lectures by Will Self on engagement and isolation were the catalysts and would instigate what would become the eventual project. As this is a very broad area, I felt it was important to narrow the focus to a specific area. At that time I was thinking about how technologies affect us when performing the act of reading. Practice and process. My daughter sitting at the table doing her homework one afternoon seemed a good opportunity for me to capture boredom, distraction and procrastination on film. Though looking back, I probably should have made movements a little bit more exaggerated and theatrical. Roughly 11 to 12 actions were filmed and edited. From there, the rotoscope process began. During that pressure period in the art-making process, I was analysing our relationship with device engagement, or life support machines as I refer to them. Observations in urban environments, such as city streets, cafes, public transports, restaurants, etc. It's amazing what you can see when watching with a purpose. It got me thinking about fragmenting form as a way to communicate distraction of a mental state. Again, more experiments, more reshuffling and rethinking, though at least the project was on the move again. The fragmentations later became much more intensified when layering the rotoscope work. By doing so, I felt this captured distraction and disruption, which was the objective.
Please stand clear of the closing doors.
For the audio, after consideration, a voiceover was vetoed in favour of a soundscape, which sounded much more exciting to compose. For diversity, the collected material was recorded when travelling from Tokyo to London. As with the rotoscope work, the sound bites were also layered. Automated and notification sounds predominate the arranged soundscape, fading in and out and some played simultaneously. The end result being a cacophony and chaotic assemblage, triggering a sensory intrusion. I feel now that this is a resolved body of work. I'll read an extract from Art and Fear, Observations on the Perils and Rewards of Art Making, which for me sums up this whole exploration and art making process. But if asked to describe how it felt during art making, well, that often comes out a bit like Dorothy trying to describe the Land of Oz to Auntie M. Between the initial idea and the finished piece lies a gulf we can see across, but never fully chart. The truly special moments in art making lie in those moments when concept is converted to reality, those moments when the gulf is being crossed. Precise descriptions fail, but it connects to that wonderful condition in which the work seems to make itself and the artist serves only as a guide or mediator, allowing all things to happen.